George Washington, the father of a nation. George Washington, the first President of the United States, was born on February 22, 1732 in Westmoreland, Virginia. Although he was born into a wealthy family and had access to great schools, he only spent 2 years at school before running away to serve under British General Edward Braddock in the French and Indian War at the age of 16. Washington first started work at age 11. He was an accomplished surveyor and military officer with many accomplishments. He married Martha Dandridge Custis and had 2 children from that marriage before she passed away in 1773. His second wife was also Martha, widow of John Parke Custis, who died in 1781. They had 4 children together, and he lived out his life at their estate Mount Vernon in Virginia until his death on December 14, 1799. George Washington has gone down as one of America's most important founding fathers and one of history's greatest presidents. In 1775, George Washington was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army, which he led to victory in 1783. In 1787, he presided over the Constitutional Convention which established the new United States Constitution. He was unanimously elected as president and served 2 terms. He championed many reforms such as public education, economic stimulation, and religious tolerance. Despite his limited experience as an elected official, he did not believe that American republic should be given up after only 100 years. He was committed to making America more democratic than any other country in history. In both peace and wartime affairs, George Washington set many precedents for presidential power that remain in place today. In the long history of the United States, only George Washington did not represent a political party. Washington was unanimously elected president on April 30, 1789. His second term in office began in March 1793. As his second term in office came to an end in 1796, President George Washington made the decision not to run for re-election. Washington believed that if he were to pass away while in office, Americans would see the presidency as a lifetime appointment. Instead, he made the decision to leave office, setting the precedent for the 2-term limit that would later be codified in the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution. Washington's death was followed by an outpouring of grief and sorrow among his fellow citizens. He died at home in Mount Vernon on December 14, 1799, at age 67. Washington was buried without ceremony in the family plot at Mount Vernon, where he rests next to his wife and 2 of his stepchildren. His estate was worth $1 million at the time of his death. He left almost all, 9/10, to his nephew Bushrod Washington.